So it's over to you. So tell us about how do we add new services to our agency? Over to you.
Okay, wow. Whew. Throwing some stuff my way there. So I thought we were coming on for a little bit more of a chat on this today, but I figure what I could do is I could share kind of a background into um, why you should be considering adding services to your agency, even if it's not your core competency. And I think the last presenter was talking a little bit more about that from Vendasta about like how you can kind of expand your bench a little bit more. So I want to, I guess, share my screen. Um, so let's go to that. Oh gosh, I'm ill-equipped to use this tool. Sharing screen. Where are you at? Bears, can you give me a hint here? All right, there it is. Got it. Window,
Is it coming?
Keynote. There we go. I should be good now. But all right, let me
Beautiful.
know if people can see.
Yes, it's coming.
Perfect. All right. I'll spin real quick. It's a story I like to tell about why you need to be adding services to screens and why specifically you should consider pay-per-click. So hi, Justin Rondeau, president and co-owner of Invisible. I know I'll be very quick about that because no one actually cares. You may know me from other products like digital marketing, scalable, true conversion, and teamwork. But now I'm over here at Invisible PPC where we
Justin,
do done.
Justin, I
Yeah,
think your share screen isn't working. So maybe we'll just get back to the chat idea. How about that?
whatever, man. Let's do it.
All right.
What do you got?
So give us the well. You can stop the screen share, but tell us about the story about invisible PPC. On the you were just starting there, I guess.
Yeah, it was yeah. So I guess I'll just kind of talk through this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think people care to hear about invisible PPC. So
Okay,
I
then
think
tell
they
us
want to
why
hear
we
more
need to
about.
add more products to our services.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mhm.
so yeah, I think there's three myths that people have to kind of think about when they're trying to that are holding them back from their growth. The first being that hey, I can do it all. Um, and I think a lot of people have been talking about this more today. Is that you can't. It's just the thing. Like when you got into an agency, you mostly got into it by accident. A lot of people didn't set out to be like, hey, I'm going to have a web design agency or I'm going to have a content marketing agency. It just kind of happened, and then you create some fairly limiting beliefs that that you have to do all these things for your client specifically, even though you don't have to be the exact subject matter expert in order to get some of these things done there. But how do you do that? You have a couple of options. You can hire internal specialists, you can refer clients to specialists, or you can find outsource specialists. Obviously I'll be talking a little bit more about finding outsource specialists within like fulfillment partners. A little bit biased there, but I mean, the benefit of hiring internally to add on new services is you can get a ton of control, get dedicated focus, and you have consistent diversity of thought going there. The problems with that though is it's incredibly expensive. So a Google Ads specialist right now makes somewhere around $91,000 in the States. That's someone with 4 to 6 years experience. It gets
I think
very, very
a few
difficult.
people just decided to move to the states now. They're listening right now.
Oh,
They
okay.
just decided they're moving.
That's it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very expensive role to hire for, and if you don't have the work to do it or the competency to cover that work, if that's a new additional service, it could prove to be very costly for your agency. And additionally, hire internally, as we all know, it takes forever to hire people. It takes more time out of your day to hire people, and then it takes more time of your day to actually manage them. So, I mean, what is it? The average time to fill a position right now is around 42 days. Do you have that level of focus? Can you take those 42 days to keep your foot off the gas? I don't know if you can,
Hmm.
and most people can't. And then obviously, yeah, leading and managing folks takes way more time. Professionals spend about 21 and a half hours in meetings per week. And if you're one of those that aren't doing that, when you start adding staff, you will. So something to think about there. So hey, you're like, hey, Justin, you're going to talk about today, like how to add services and why should I be adding services? One, it's going to increase the overall average revenue you're getting at your organization. I think that's the no-brainer. And the last presentation also talked about it's a good expansion opportunity, and it's a good way for you as an agency to maintain a longer-term relationship. And so if you're not going to be able to hire internally because it's too expensive and you're not the expert, what else can you do? You can send to a referral partner. You can say, hey, so and so, I don't run paid ads, but my friend
Hmm.
Joe Schmo over here does. You can do that,
Mhm.
which is fine. You get a referral fee, no responsibilities or anything there, but you're not going to see significant growth for your agency, and you might be leaving money on the table or even pushing money away
Mhm.
completely. So that's where I think getting into outsourcing and specifically white label partners is a good area to be kind of living into. But it's also, I think, kind of not done as often by even people who have been in the space for a period of time, because a lot of people think that white label management is really for the beginner agencies,
Mm.
but it's really not. Um, I think anybody here, I just have a quick pop quiz for. What is an agency? Just what are we? Let's have that philosophical question of what the heck are we as agencies? I'll give you a second.
That's a very good question.
We're outsourced talent, right? We are outsourced talent for all these other folks, right? So I pose to you here, like, if you're like, hey, I have to be doing this myself, and the only help I'm ever going to get is going to be internal to me. So you're just saying outsourced talent is no longer valued
Mhm.
or valid, but that's
Mhm.
you. That is absolutely
You're,
you.
you're you're going
So
against your very own principles. That's what you're saying.
yes, exactly. Yeah, you're
Mhm.
you're yeah you're your own like antithetical like statement at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's something to think about. And so what you need to do is obviously know like what your core competency is and like where those critical key areas are for you. You don't outsource that. That's when you start, when you're adding services, you start looking at opportunities to then outsource those opportunities. So pay-per-click is one that I think is, obviously a no-brainer, because, we have a company that's been around for 11 years to do
Mhm.
that does pay-per-click for you. But the reason why that works, you can really outsource any level of activity as long as it's a specialist activity. There's a
Mhm.
story I like to tell. It's called The Baker. Um, so if I were to bake a cake, even for myself, not for like a profit, but just in general, if I were to bake a cake, I would have to go through the following. I'd have to find a recipe, drive to the store, buy all the ingredients, drive home, measure everything, mix wet and dry ingredients. I don't even know if one goes first, second, if it matters. Put it in the oven, wait forever, assemble it, frost, decorate, and then just cry about all the time and money I spent. Right? It would be just a terrible way for me to spend my time and money building cakes, right?
Mhm.
But we do this all the time and we try to do this at our own agency. So why wouldn't you just have a baker do it? Instead, you find the bakery, look for cakes, buy your favorite one, leave, and then you don't cry about a crappy cake that took hours to make, right? The one simple truth is specialists, like bakers in this case, will always do the specific job better than you. And you
Mhm.
need to embrace that as an agency, especially as a growing agency, right?
Mhm.
This is true in every industry. You have people who are specialists in plumbing, cooking, accounting, gardening, investing, home remodeling, and marketing. There are specialists that you need to lean on and do those types of things. So if you're thinking about how do I make money or like what things should I be outsourcing, again, not your core competency, never do that. That's what makes you special. That's your major superpower, right? But you can start looking at different firms that can do email marketing, search engine optimization, sales support, market, like maybe not market research, like customer
Mhm.
loyalty programs, ad development, pay-per-click management, and those types of
Mhm.
things. I pose that PPC is a great one to start with if you are an SEO firm or really if you have any tangential service offerings. But in general, it's a pretty solid thing to begin adding to your repertoire, because clients want two things: traffic and conversions, right?
Mhm.
And when you're doing PPC, you have a much shorter results window. They'll see their
Mhm.
ads showing up. I mean, if you set it up wrong, so you don't want them seeing their ads that early. But they'll also see an increase in overall traffic. They'll see an increase in new leads, and it's going to happen in weeks, not months. And that's
Mhm.
what's really important. This is a really
Mhm.
good way to get things kicked off. And Google PPC in general is closer to the conversion event than other mediums that they could be adding into
Mhm.
there. So it's a middle
Mhm.
to top funnel leads and traffic, generates buyer ready leads, and will also generate sales for you. The
And
major
I've been
drawback.
thinking to my
Yep.
yeah, I've been thinking
Go
to
ahead.
myself, if we were to outsource bits of our offering,
Mhm.
or maybe just add something as an outsourced offering to
Yeah.
our, let's say, palette of available things we do for our clients, I would think PPC is actually the not easiest, but the most tangible thing to outsource that can be managed in a very performance-based manner.
Yeah.
Because if you cannot let's say outsource design, that's a very hard thing to do, I guess. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very hard to manage design, make a client happy with somebody else's design that you outsource to.
Yeah.
But if you're outsourcing the PPC bits of the business, then that the performance of your partner is very measurable to the last,
Mhm.
let's say, cent. If am I correct
Yeah,
in thinking that?
there's no hiding. There's no hiding.
Yeah.
And that's what also makes it scary and why you want to partner with folks that can do it. Like the skill gap is absolutely real. If you start offering PPC and you're ill-equipped to do it, you will lose that client,
Mm-hmm.
hands down, because they'll see it too. It's very, very noticeable. But
Mm-hmm.
again, all clients want are this. They want more conversions. They want more traffic. They want more conversions. You can do that very easily and predictably utilizing pay-per-click. It's
Mm-hmm.
now just a matter of like, can you do it in a way that's profitable for the client? Like, do you have the skills to do it, or do you have partnerships with folks that can do that for you? The fact of the matter is, like, uh, there is a massive, in general, like in the marketing agency space, there's a lot of opportunity on the PPC
Mm-hmm.
side. Like I'd say 30% of the people that jump on sales calls with us, they're like, hey, I have a web design company, and
Mm-hmm.
I keep getting asked, do you run ads?
Mm-hmm.
And insert whatever agency it is. I have this agency, and then
Mm-hmm.
after I've had successful work, do you run ads? And they generally say no. That is, again,
Mm-hmm.
leaving money on the table. That's not putting
Mm-hmm.
you into a monthly recurring package of any kind. You might be doing just project-based work, and that's it. And they don't have a way to cross-sell, upsell, or continue into into future months with these
And I
folks.
think throughout the event today, we've heard a lot about how to generate more leads, how to close them,
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and adding new services, being innovative, all that. And I think I was just thinking to myself, the one of the benefits of really being able to outsource PPC, or let's say, as opposed to an agency that doesn't do PPC at the moment, that
Mhm.
wants to add on PPC. And I think the big thing, the big jump there is starting to tap the ad budget of the client,
Yeah.
not only the project-based budget of the client, because the ad
Mhm.
budget of the client is generally geared towards their bottom line, their sales and profit
Yeah.
directly. So basically, that is not something that they'll give up quickly if they get a good return. Am I correct?
Mhm. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. And then when you're looking at adding on an additional service like PPC, like I wouldn't like you don't want to have it baked into like overall retainers. You should be using it as an add-on service in general. So
Mm-hmm.
don't, because it will cut into your margins for
Mm-hmm.
sure. So you want to make sure that you're factoring that in as well. So, and one of the other kind of like kickers I have for agencies who are kind of dabbling into PPC and they're trying to figure out who to work with, you want to make sure that you have clients who are who are willing to spend. They're not just kind of like kicking tires on ads or like they've been burned
Mm-hmm.
before and like, oh, I'll
Mm-hmm.
throw $1,000 a month at something. It's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
that you're not going to see the results that you need to
Mm-hmm.
do that. Start.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure like you're calling your shot with these types of folks. But the opportunity in terms of just like cash for your agency, like for basic Google ad management, you could probably charge a setup fee and build out of probably somewhere around 2K, 3K one,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can push that into a $1,000 to $1,500 retainer each and every month
Mm-hmm.
after that,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't suck. It is something that you could start offering to people and then start building more monthly recurring revenue for yourself because you're getting them, you're getting them consistently month over month because you've made yourself a valuable asset at that level.
Yeah, quick question. If I were an agency and wanted to start working with invisible PPC, do I
Yeah.
need to have somebody in-house to manage you guys, or how does that work?
Oh yeah. So how we work, we work directly with the agencies. We never work with end clients. So it would
Hmm.
be whoever your main point of contact is. If it's like a project manager, if you're a smaller agency, it's you or your partner. You'd work directly with one of our account managers. We never talk to the clients.
Hmm.
We leave that to you. We never want to
Hmm.
work with end clients in general, just because we'd rather support agencies. And then also we want agencies to know that like we're here to support them, not eventually make them worried. We'll like cut out the middleman and just be like, that's our client
Hmm.
now or something like that. So.
Well, sounds great. Perfect. Well, just this has been great, and I think there's lots of people now thinking to themselves, "Hey, if they're not doing PPC, hey, this might be a good time to start." I guess.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
time like the present. I mean, hey, and
exactly.
you're gonna probably have some contracts coming up soon that you can, if you have a reason to talk to somebody, the easiest sale you'll ever make anywhere in the world is do you need help with that? To your existing client. So
Hmm.
expansion business, reaching out saying, hey, we're gonna start offering this as a pilot program. Do you want
Hmm.
help with this? Real
Hmm.
easy email to send and a really easy way to start padding some more cash to your agency.
Perfect. Well, with that, we thank you, Justin. Thanks for coming to the show, and it's
Thank
been
you.
great having you. And I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye. Bye. Bye.